Yeah, follow up. Jordan, we talked, let's see. I'm pretty sure you were one of the first persons I've talked to when I started this, January 2023. Man, two and a half years ago.
Yep.
So I guess it's like, what has happened since then?
Well, still here on the street in Seattle. Been into a couple of different shelters, but things didn't exactly work out, and had a couple of major medical traumas that set me back a little bit. Basically, everything is still the same. I'm, stuck in this kind of bottomless pit of addiction and street life, and it's definitely taken a lot out of me. You know, I stopped selling drugs. I guess I felt like I was part of the problem. You know, at least profiting from the problem.
Well, that was a source of income for you.
Yeah, and that's been a major. It's been a major trial, because it's difficult to live with, a very limited source of money. But I made a commitment to stop doing that, and so far I've stuck with it. As evidenced by my clothes. But it is what it is. I'm trying to believe that by doing the right things, that a better life will become available to me. And maybe not. I don't know, but I don't know any. I've tried every other avenue. And so I'm trying this one, and I don't know. It's been difficult.
It kind of begs the question of, you stop selling drugs as a source of income for money. So how do you get money? How are you surviving? What does that look like for you?
Petty crime, basically. I'm victimizing stores instead of people, I guess you could say. I was receiving money from the state, but apparently they decided that I wasn't disabled. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened there. I'm supposed to go back in on the 15th and get another psychological evaluation. But yeah, it's been real meager.
Yeah. I've seen you around in a couple sweeps. Tell me about, I guess if you can put a number on sweeps.
Oh, how many I've been involved in?
Is there?
I've been swept, let's see, the last one was my 12th. Yeah. It's, some are worse than others. Usually they're fairly civil, though there have been a few where they showed up at 6 in the morning and said, you got 15 minutes to pack your shit and get out of here, or we're throwing it away or arresting you. So, like I said, some are worse than others, but I don't, I've got nothing against the city for doing what, they're doing. They're scrambling and trying to solve a problem that there is no solution for, so.
Well, I guess in your opinion and experience, do sweeps work?
Well, they work in the sense of you've got a block of people, a city block of people in tents, and after the sweep, that block is now clean. But those people just moved somewhere else, 2 blocks over, 2 blocks down, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. It just cleans up one area.
I guess from your perspective, like, what do you think the purpose of a sweep is?
Well,
like the city's intentions, I guess.
Their intention is to harass the homeless and hope that they'll leave and become somebody else's problem. That's without a doubt what their intention is. You don't, You don't come to a group of 25 homeless people with 2 shelter offerings. I mean, what does that mean? You know, what does that say? You know, well, we'd like to say that we care about all of you, but we only have enough to care for 2 of you. You know, I mean that's it's ridiculous on its face.
Yeah, it's like I've heard the term, the math ain't mathing on that one.
Yeah, no, it's not. But unfortunately, just like the green initiatives, homelessness has become an industry. And there's a lot of people's income is dependent on us being out here. So, and that's not, you know, I'm not being negative or trying to, you know, point fingers. It's just, it's the truth.
Yeah, it's kind of a fact. It keeps other people employed.
Yes. And a lot of those people are very, very well intentioned. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. You know, I got nothing against anyone. It's just an observation. You know, we have become an industry, and it's unfortunate because in situations where you have a federal government throwing billions of dollars at a problem, people, you know, filter out a lot of that money. There's been a lot of corruption, and you know, not to say that things would be any different if there hadn't been corruption. I don't know if it would be. I mean, things get so mired down in bureaucracy that, you know, the rubber doesn't meet the road after a while, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It'd be interesting to watch a dollar kind of go through a process and where it goes, who it goes to, how many cents go here, and there before it gets, I don't know, to a resource or something. I'm not sure, but that'd be an interesting case study, I guess.
Yeah, it would be.
And then you talk about, like you said, billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking to the complexity of, I call it the unhoused crisis.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, problem's one word.
Yeah, no, it is a crisis. You know, I mean, and it's sad that in a country with this much wealth that this would go on.
That's right.
But it does, you know. And I don't claim to have an answer for it. I don't. It's there's so many different aspects of why a person becomes homeless, and then so many barriers to them beating that, you know, and, you know, getting past it.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
What are some barriers for you?
My drug addiction is a major one. My health is another one, you know. And then really I'm exhausted by it, you know. I don't really have much left. Because it's not like it's a simple process to go through. You know?
Right.
It's complicated, and there's all kinds of pitfalls, and it's after a while, you know, you get told no enough times, you just stop caring.
Yeah, I guess it's, you know, man, I mean, the first thing you said was your drug addiction. And then it's like, how do you get in a recovery, rehab services situation? That's just one piece.
Right.
And while you're unhoused, living in a tent.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, you know, people say housing first, which there's something to that. And then starting this other process. A lot of barriers.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish that I had, like, good news for all you viewers. But it's not, you know, there is no good news. It's it's a difficult road, and I don't know. I know that 2 years ago I had a lot more of a positive outlook on it than I do now,
Hmm.
and my outlook probably wasn't that rosy then, but at least internally, I felt hopeful.
Yeah,
And
hope, yeah.
that's kind of been beaten out of me,
Hmm.
and I don't know. It's but then again, it's hard to give up. It's hard to quit.
Yeah, I think before I hit record, we said we're both here. That we're both standing right here.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And as long as I'm still breathing, I'm going to continue to try. But
Yeah,
my outlook on it is just not very positive anymore.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't put as much energy towards things as I used to. And I when you get promised things and then they don't happen, eventually you just stop believing. And I think that's really where I'm at right now, is that I just don't have any faith in the system, and I don't have much faith in myself, to be honest. Um, and it's I don't know. It's a hard thing to confront. It's not. That's why drugs are so popular. Because it gives you something else to focus on,
Yeah.
and a way not to feel the pain of existence. Because it's not really there's not too many happy spots.
Yeah, I always think about, it's a coping mechanism, and it gives a sense of relief and reprieve from this, like what you said. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's
Temporary escape,
Yeah,
seemingly escape, I guess.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish I had a better outlook on things, but you know, experience is kind of
Yeah,
beating it into me, not to get my hopes up.
yeah, yeah. Well, you use the word exhausted.
Yeah, yeah, and I am. It it takes a lot out of you, and you can't run a car on empty all the time.
Right,
It it's not good for the engine.
Yeah. I think I'm remembering when we talked, and you have a son
Yeah,
who's in Seattle. Is that right? Not too far.
I have a son and a daughter.
And a daughter.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them in a long time.
Since 2023, in between there, you haven't talked to them or seen them.
No.
Hmm.
No, and it's shameful, but it's another in a long list of things that I don't feel good about.
Yeah. That I would guess is part of that coping and
Yeah.
peace. Yeah, it's the complexity of getting out of homelessness. There's so much support that people need. Like so much support.
Yeah, that's really true. It's and I mean, I can understand it from both sides. It's a heavy weight for whatever agency is trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's equally heavy weight for the person dealing with the problem. And And there's no, there's no golden ticket. There's no easy answer. It's just,
Yeah, it's a case by case, person by person
yeah.
journey.
And it is a journey, without a doubt.
I mean, it was a journey, I guess, into homelessness, and it's, from what I've heard, a much more difficult journey out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty easy to get here, I mean, all I had to do was lose my ability to make a paycheck. But getting back out is, it's a labyrinth, and without some kind of master plan, master view of, the maze that you're walking through, it's very difficult to find a way out, let alone an easy way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's an easy way out of most anything that's a challenge and difficult, and yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
we're always trying to go around, but we got to go through.
That is definitely there. There's no way past that. You do have to go through it. You can't bypass it.
Yeah.
There's no easy solution.
Jordan, I asked this question last time, and I'd like to follow up again. Is there anything that you want the people of Seattle to know?
That we're out here, that we're not, at least most of us, are not a menace. We're just people. And, we love and we hate and we do all the same things that everybody else does. And, it took 8 paychecks for me to get where I am. I mean, that's really, being out of work for 2 months was enough to capsize my existence. So just, keep that in mind, that, you're closer to this than you may think, and, be grateful for what you have.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your time again. Appreciate it. Good to hear your voice, man.
Thank you.